Welcome to FOSKULTURE. If you still haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and let the comments keep rolling in as we appreciate all comments. Please don't forget to turn on that notification button and also click the like button. On today's episode of FOSKULTURE, we'll be discussing mental health. We'll continue from where we stopped from the last video. Today we'll be having a guest. His name is Chimez. He'll be here to shed a light on some of the things that affect our daily activities on mental health, how to check your mental state if you are mentally fit, and so many other questions, then possible causes of mental health. A lot of things we're going to be discussing, so please stay tuned and don't touch. Mr. Chimez, welcome to FOSKULTURE.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you here. The last episode of FOSKULTURE, we talked about mental health, a little bit of mental health, but we just picked two things, which were depression and anxiety. We try as much as we can to just share a little bit light on it. But today, I want to ask, from your own point of view, what is mental health to you?
Okay. I think the starting point must be to examine what health is. According to the World Health Organization, health is a complete state of mental, physical, and social well-being, and not necessarily the absence of illness and sickness. So mental health, it includes our social, our mental, and our psychological well-being, how we speak, how we act, how we react, how we interact to others. So it encapsulates our existence, how we go about our daily duties, how we interact with other people, how we react. I think that's what mental health is.
Okay, so I want to ask the next question now. How can you tell if you have a mental health problem, maybe a mental health disorder?
I think when your mental health begins to depreciate, you notice changes the way you act. You become edgy, quite easy to irritate. You will probably sleep more or sleep less. You will probably eat more or eat less. You pick up quarrels much more easily.
Okay.
You will be so some of those things. You will probably become more anxious. You probably become numb. You will lack motivation. You find it quite difficult to attend to your normal day-to-day activities.
So when one start experiencing those things, just know that you need to check your mental health.
Yes, when you can foresee a reduction in the way you function, you're less happy, you're very easy to get annoyed, then you know that something is wrong somewhere.
That's very correct. So which brings me to the next questions. What are the causes of mental health? What do you think are the possible causes of mental health?
A lot of things can be responsible for mental health, be it positive or negative. Positive is a good part. When you're okay, your mental health is positive, but when it becomes negative, it can be your gene, it can be inherited, parents, uncles, family. It can be your biological makeup, how you are created, your brain cell orientation. Then it can be as a result of what you've experienced, because a lot of people that have traumas is as a result of things they experienced while growing up. So I think those are the three things. Then hormonal change, maybe women when they get pregnant and the period before and after childbirth, a lot of hormonal changes occur. So that also affects mental health.
Thank you so much. Okay, so what is depression and anxiety to you? What does it mean to be depressed?
Okay, to be depressed will probably mean a persistent feeling of sadness and lack of motivation. That when someone, that's what depression is: sadness, lack of motivation, tiredness of things generally. That's depression.
What about anxiety?
Anxiety is not abnormal. People are normally anxious. It's normal. When you are going to do something, going to a place you're not used to, you can normally be anxious. But anxiety in this case, when it's used to negative mental health, is when people react irrationally and excessively to little things. They become fearful. They become quite apprehensive of little day-to-day tasks like going out, going to the market, coming to church, maybe going to a hospital. So that's when it becomes an issue, when people become unnecessarily agitated, and you could see a physical expression of their fear. Maybe they start sweating, maybe vomiting, they get quite anxious and hyperventilating.
All right. Okay. That's cool. So what are the possible causes of depression? What do you think are the causes of depression?
A lot of it could be biological, it could be just the way someone is made. Some people are maybe much more quiet just by themselves. It could be as a result of what they have experienced, maybe the death of a loved one, disappointment in school, from maybe from home, the way people talk to them, lack of certainty about themselves. When they become too concerned about the opinions of other people, oh you're fat, oh you're tall, oh you're short, then those are things that can lead to depression.
That's true. So what if I want to ask the next question now?
Okay.
What do you think are the possible treatment for depression? A depressed person.
Okay.
What kind
I think
of treatment?
it depends on the level of depression. I know there is mild, there is moderate, and there is severe depression. But there are psychological treatments for depression like CBT, and then there is the antidepressants. There are drugs people take because of depression. So yeah, but for mild depression, antidepressants are not advised because of the kind of after effects they might have on persons. Yes.
Okay. So I think at this point, have you ever experienced someone who has been depressed before? Because there's need to relate it to reality. Like
Right.
Anybody that has been you witnessed had depression once, and if there's anybody, what was the cost?
Okay, I think it was in school then.
Okay.
Probably a junior colleague. Yeah, she didn't want to do law, but her parents coerced her to come and do law. Then she started struggling and became depressed.
Oh, wow. So the next one, I think this will bring me to a wrap for today on FOSKULTURE, which is what can one do to improve his or her mental states? What are the things you think we can do to improve our mental states?
I think the first thing is people should find someone they can talk to. When you start feeling depressed, when you start feeling anxious, when you start feeling tired of life and getting disappointed with yourself, I think the first thing is to find someone who you can talk to. Another thing is to avoid picking up bad habits. Some people take to drinking, take to substance abuse when they get depressed. So it's something that must be avoided because alcohol actually increases the depression. When someone is depressed and goes for alcohol, it increases the depression. Another thing one can do is to have learn to manage stress, because a lot of the things attributed to depression can also be attributed to stress. So if you can learn how to manage stress, it will help. Learn to say no. Learn when to say no. It's very important. A lot of people like pleasing others. So when they are told, please do this thing, even when they are extremely stretched, because of their inability to say no, I can't handle this thing now, they take up more and more and more, and then they get exhausted and it probably tilts towards depression. Then another thing, people should learn to physical activity, probably exercise, charitable work, something, but keep the mind busy. That's another way you can fight depression.
Okay, that's nice. So thank you so much for so many things you've said about depression, anxiety, mental health. I think this will bring us to a wrap on depression and anxiety. Please, we'll be right back. You've heard it all from Chimez. Please, I want you to take your mental health seriously, and don't forget that you're not alone. Please, if you still haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our channel, ring the notification button and click the like button as well. Also, let the comments keep coming. I remain FAVOUR OSAGIE. Stay inspired with FOSKULTURE.